Good evening, everyone. Om Shanti. Welcome to Brahma Kumaris, Silicon Valley, a live meditation series on a month dedicated to being a better version of yourself. Today's program is really to showcase spiritual knowledge that helps us in identifying the potential, the design that exists within us to really bloom up, from that caterpillar that might be within us into a beautiful butterfly. There is no cocoon, there is no butterfly, right? So each one of us in many different ways sometimes restrict ourselves, limit ourselves, and we don't let those wings fly to be that better version of ourselves. So the intent of this series is really to showcase various different ideas, methodologies, examples through live meditation and some presentation on how we can really be that beautiful butterfly that each one of us is already really existing. That butterfly in us exists, so how do we showcase it in every sphere of life? We always for the folks who might be joining us for the first time, just to kind of give you a structure of this program, we generally start off with about 8 to 10 minutes of meditation, and then we have a quick discussion on some various different points through presentations, and then we end it also with meditation. The meditation is a guided meditation, which is basically Raj Yoga meditation. Here we consciously create positive, elevated thoughts to really connect to our higher self. And in this meditation, for me, what has really helped is to consider myself to be in a spiritual lab be open to all the beautiful thoughts that are being sent and accept them and embrace them as these thoughts are really personally meant for me. They are my truth. And the moment we accept rather than doubt what is these thoughts are not really me, I'm not that, elevated being, that's when we can't experience anything. So this experimentation, a little bit of open-mindedness, if you want to call it, really helps in activating the heart. And when the heart is engaged in meditation, it becomes a very beautiful and powerful experience. So, with that, let's start the meditation. And like I said, I will be sharing some thoughts out loud. Just follow the commentary. And if you can create visuals of the words, then that also helps a lot in activating the heart. So, let's get started. To be with the most beautiful and precious being, I, the soul. We've been traveling for a very long time. We deserve some genuine rest, not just for the body, but also for the mind. So let's fly away, far off, And that is why when we are in nature, we are the pure being of light naturally pours the fragrance of my love on every being by maintaining deep respect for all beings of this world. I am a pure, peaceful, and a loving soul. Welcome, everyone, once again to being a better version of yourself. So today is day one. Just wanted to kind of give you a glimpse of what this 31-day program is going to be about, why we are dedicating a month to really be a better version of yourself. Just wanted to share some of the background of myself as well. I've been in this path, for almost 6 years with Brahma Kumaris, a student, a very active student, and and indeed, the caterpillar in me never knew that there is a beautiful butterfly that is, ready to emerge and fly away. And I didn't realize that I was the one who was restricting that butterfly to emerge and fly, right? And this past 6 years, working on myself, understanding the knowledge, and using meditation as the tool to immerse that butterfly. I've seen magical transformation in myself, not trying to boast, but really to share my journey from how this caterpillar is slowly moving towards being that beautiful butterfly with many colors of beautiful inner qualities. And for me, one of the most inspiring moments in this journey has been that when you are walking on this path to be a better version of yourself, without even saying single word, many people get inspired, motivated to be a better version of themselves. And it's just mind blowing that each one of us, we already have a design, a potential to be a butterfly. We are just not using it. We are too scared to become that beautiful, whatever you might want to call it, some excuses we use. But the moment we see few butterflies around us, there's a part of us that wants to experiment too. So this has been one of my biggest support, that this is indeed the right path, where not only am I going closer towards my better version, but it is very knowingly or unknowingly inspiring many people to walk in this path. And so, what we are going to showcase is this first week or about 10 days, we will talk about really the fundamentals of the building blocks for really becoming the better version of ourselves. So, we will talk on what are few things that negatively impact, that prevent us from becoming the better version. And then we will also talk about how we can, what are the steps that are needed to really move closer. And then once we understand what are really the building blocks, the process of becoming better version, then how can we really use that better version practically when we are facing challenges in all of these branches of life, right? So um, we all, see various kinds of storms coming on these tree of life. You can call it various branches. Sometimes work is showing challenges, sometimes it's relationships, body, finances, and so on. And sometimes our own inner storms, storms of past experiences, mistakes, or really feeling ashamed, whatever that might be. How do we still maintain this status quo of being a better version? How can a better version handle the inner storms? How do we instigate and activate the better version when all of these challenges keep coming? And for me, this has been the most beautiful experience, where as we keep moving forward, there are many storms that come, and every storm that you cross with the better version, you not only cross it faster, but you cross it so elegantly and gracefully, like as if it was not even a storm, but a gift that has made me much more stronger than what I was before. Right? So we will go through these, all of these various different things in this entire month, on how do we be better version in all of these spheres of life. But first, on the fundamentals. So today we just want to kind of talk about really the steps of, you can call it a process or steps, on what are those building blocks that will enable us to be the better version. And yes, throughout this series we will talk about all of these, so this is just a starting point today. So first step is really the awareness. How do we identify ourselves, and based on the identity we have, that's the potential, that we can think about. And if the identity is limited, then our potential also becomes limited. Here in our awareness, each one of us has layers and layers of subconscious negative self talk. Based on our experiences, people's words, our own analysis, and things like that. So, this is such a big one that exists within us. There are layers of it. And depending upon how we have created this self image, we then have that kind of self talk. So, many of us, if we are not even practicing meditation, we won't even realize how derogatorily we talk to ourselves many times, in a very negative and in a very ordinary manner, as if we are nothing. Don't do this, you are not capable of doing it. For me, for example, I came up from a very ordinary school, and my language was not very strong. So I didn't even realize till for many years that I had this nervousness when I was speaking in front of many people. And I used to think, no, I'm very bold, I'm very courageous, I don't have any fear. It's only when I started practicing meditation, I noticed how many negative thoughts I would create about my speaking ability. Judge myself, dismiss myself, that people must be laughing at the way you talk, and so on. It's really the kind of image I have created. This is a huge thing that we will work on, because this is the foundation which will really help us reach the top, which is the better version. So the next step, basically, once we know our whatever that limited awareness is, we then obviously we are working towards meeting that potential, and based on that our self worth gets established. So, for example, if my awareness is only that I am a program manager, or I am an engineer, typically my self worth will be I am good in, programming, or this language or that language, and so on. So, limited awareness automatically helps us, or enables us, I wouldn't call it help, but enables us to only have limited net worth. That is, I'm great in this programming language. That can't really sustain a consistent self-respect or esteem, right? So limited awareness leads to limited net worth. And then that, based on what I consider myself, my value to be, based on that, the self-esteem, it's basically the way I evaluate myself, that this is who I am, this is the confidence I have in me, based on my net worth, that here are my values, here are my skills, this is my perception about myself, and based on that I might have, stability in esteem, or low or high self esteem. So that becomes our third block. And then, basically, based on our esteem, is basically the respect that we generate for ourselves. And if really this first foundation was a very unlimited, beautiful awareness of the self, then automatically everything becomes very, very powerful, and we are able to maintain that unshakable faith and love for ourselves. And this basically generates so much of confidence and faith in ourselves, that it becomes very easy to execute the better version of yourself, right? um, so in this entire series, we will be talking a lot about all of these various different things, on how do we make sure that our awareness is right, how do we make sure that our self esteem is solid, that our net worth is growing day by day, and that our self respect, no matter people are critical or I make a mistake, that does not shake. This was for me a huge learning point, because I was someone who was didn't even realize that I was a perfectionist, and I was very brutal towards myself if I made mistakes, even small mistakes. I would go through weeks of guilt, and you know that means basically, when I'm attacking myself, when I'm angry at myself, I'm not respecting myself. So this 6 years, I mean, even in the first 2 years of this path, I didn't even realize. It's once that realization hit, and I said, no, my gosh, if I don't respect myself, I can't expect anybody else to respect me, right? So this unshakable respect and faith for the self, that no matter what happens, never giving up, maintaining that faith in the self, that no, I have the potential. The cocoon can only be a butterfly. No cocoon, no butterfly. That kind of a faith is the intent of this program to build up. So, hope you're able to stay with us for a month. But let's end it with a meditation. I am a pure being of light. I come from the land of silence, nirvana. a home that is filled with golden red light, a home of the Supreme Soul, God. I come from that pure land of silence. I am an eternal and imperishable being. I came empty handed to this physical world, and one day will leave my body, my possessions, my education, job, relations, everything, and will go back complete. All it needs is the company of the most elevated being, the source of all powers and virtues, God. The needs of the body cannot satisfy the soul. Body is perishable. Its needs are perishable. Whereas I, the soul, is imperishable, eternal, and only imperishable peace, love, and happiness satisfy the belly of the soul. There is only one spiritual energy that has the imperishable wealth that I, the soul, needs. So let's invite that beautiful spiritual energy into our awareness. The Supreme Soul never comes into the cycle of life and death, unlike the human soul. And that is why God is ever pure, ever loving, ever peaceful, ocean of knowledge and source of child of God, colorful butterfly. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Just wanted to do a quick announcement. Tomorrow we have a webinar on ABC to XYZ of Who Am I at 12 p.m. So please log on to svbrahmakumaris.org to register for this. And also on Sunday at 2 p.m. we are starting a new parenting series on raising confident kids. So again, you can get to our website and register for this. And thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you have a good evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow.